The distance between the opposing forces was by now closing. As the Glorious began to sink, the two destroyers fought a fierce battle. However, the first one was soon sunk. The second one, the Ardent, was hit and sunk, but not before letting loose 4 torpedoes. The Scharnhorst took a direct hit on the starboard side, gouging a hole 4 meters by 10 meters under one of the main towers. The Scharnhorst continued for the next 2 years plaguing Allied shipping, but in December 1944, her end was in sight. During the Battle of the North Cape, she was engaged and sunk by British cruisers, and only 36 of her crew survived. On the 14th of February 1939, the massive hull of an unfinished German warship slid into the water at Hamburg. The Bismarck. For the Nazi Party, this was a day to celebrate the new might of German war power. A moment that was enjoyed by the Führer himself. This was to be one of the strongest, largest, most powerful and most modern battleships of all the world's navies. However, the legend of the Bismarck is one that spans a mere 277 days. Only 277 days from its launching to its sinking. And yet the gigantic Bismarck was responsible for one of the most gripping dramas to take place at sea during World War II. During that short span of time, it was the most powerful battleship in the world. On board was the most up-to-date and most superior technology available. Its massive array of weapons and the extremely high level of its crew's training made this ship a seemingly invincible war machine. The sea power of the Bismarck now stood between Germany and victory, and no navy in the world had ever engaged an enemy warship like her. The British had been waiting for the Bismarck to make its move, and as the mighty battleship slid past the coastline of Norway, she was spotted. A signal was transmitted to the Admiralty building in London. A Royal Air Force reconnaissance aircraft was sent to confirm the sighting. The aerial photographs were sent back to London, and the sighting was confirmed. It was definitely the Bismarck. She was lying at anchor, hidden in deep fog in a fjord, whilst her accompanying ships took on fuel. This belief, however, was incorrect. The British cruisers, Suffolk and Norfolk, had seen Bismarck accompanied by the Prince Eugen and already knew her whereabouts from the previous signal. The new position was transmitted back to London. As Bismarck continued, a message was sent to the battleship Hood, giving them coordinates and orders to intercept and engage the Bismarck. The Hood, at this time, was Britain's capital ship and most closely comparable to Bismarck. Although aging, she was still the most powerful ship in the Royal Navy and was considered to be a worthy adversary of the Bismarck. The Hood, together with the Prince of Wales and 6 destroyers, set off to cut off the enemy at the Denmark Strait. The ships closed fast on each other and prepared to do battle. In the first exchange, the Hood and the Prince of Wales opened fire with the Bismarck and Prince Eugen returning fire immediately. In the first minute, a shell from the Prince Eugen hit the hood, starting a fire which rapidly spread forward, setting the whole ship ablaze. A huge explosion followed moments later. The hood sank within minutes, having only fired 5 or 6 salvos in the whole exchange. Of its crew of over 1,400 men, only 3 survived. With the hood destroyed, the Bismarck and Prince Eugen turned their guns on the Prince of Wales. She was also hit and forced to break off any further offensive action.